Fuel briquettes are pressed pieces of waste, such as sawdust or straw, that are used as fuel for heating. They are needed to heat houses efficiently and environmentally friendly, maintain fires in stoves, boilers, or fireplaces. Briquettes burn longer than regular firewood, produce more heat, and less smoke. This is a convenient way to use waste and save on fuel. Let's figure out whether it is as economical and cheaper than regular firewood. In order to check how briquettes burn, I bought a package of 12 pieces in the store. The store said that each briquette weighs 1 kilogram. I decided to check and weighed several pieces. It turned out that the weight was slightly less, so I had to re-weigh everything. In fact, the average weight of a briquette was about 850 grams. That is, there were about 10 kilograms in the package and not 12, as stated in the store. The dimensions of the briquettes are as follows: depth 100 millimeters, height 65 millimeters, width 150 millimeters. The weighs about 10 kilograms and not 12, as stated in the store. Briquettes burn longer than regular firewood, produce more heat and less smoke. This is a convenient way to use waste and save on fuel. In theory, they should be ideal for my boiler. It is quite easy to light the boiler with fuel briquettes if you follow a few important rules. Put some small kindling on the grate. This can be dry paper, chips or dry branches, small pieces of wood. Put 2 to 3 small logs or large chips on top of the kindling. They will help ignite the main fuel. After you have prepared the kindling, carefully place 1 to 2 fuel briquettes on top. Do not put a lot of briquettes at once. They burn long and strong, and the flame should flare up gradually. If the briquettes are large, you can divide them into parts. This will help them ignite faster. Now light the paper, let the fire flare up. When the logs and briquettes start to burn well, close the boiler door, but not completely. Leave a small gap for air access. When the briquettes flare up, you can add 1 to 2 more briquettes if you need more heat, but do it gradually so as not to smother the fire. Adjust the air supply through the damper. The more air, the more intense the combustion. If you want the briquettes to burn longer and more evenly, reduce the air supply. Fuel briquettes burn for a long time, so you do not have to add them often. Just monitor the process and add new briquettes when the old ones have almost burned out. Subscribe to the channel. What are the advantages of using fuel briquettes? It is often said that briquettes are cheaper than coal or firewood, especially considering their high calorific value. They give more heat with less, but we'll check that a little later. They burn for a long time and evenly, which reduces fuel consumption. Natural materials that do not pollute the environment are used in the production of briquettes. Less smoke and harmful substances are released during combustion than when using coal or regular firewood. Briquettes take up little space. They are more compact than firewood and lighter in weight. They are smooth and neat, so they are easy to stack and transport. Briquettes burn longer than firewood because they are made of pressed material. This allows you to add fuel to the stove less often. Very little ash remains after combustion. It even seems to me that there is none at all. This means that you will have to clean the stove less often. Unlike firewood, which can be damp or burn unevenly, briquettes are always of the same quality. They are dry, dense, and burn predictably. Briquettes give more heat than firewood because they contain less moisture and are packed more tightly. One briquette can replace several logs. If we take our region, then 10 kilograms of firewood cost 37 cents, and fuel briquettes 75 cents. Twice as expensive as briquettes. But taking into account the humidity, this difference is somewhat reduced. And it turns out that in terms of price, the difference between firewood and briquettes is 1.5 times. I took the humidity of the briquettes at 10% and the humidity of the firewood at 40%. It turns out that although briquettes are more effective than firewood, they are often more expensive. If you have access to cheap firewood, using briquettes may not be cost-effective. It seems that they produce less waste, but in fact, this is not true. They are very dusty. The dust from them flies everywhere, and if you accidentally lean against them with your clothes, it will be all white. Briquettes easily absorb moisture, especially if you store them in a damp place. When exposed to water, they lose their shape, become loose, and burn poorly. Therefore, dry storage is necessary. Due to their dense structure, briquettes are more difficult to light than regular firewood. Special kindling is often required, such as paper or wood chips. Briquettes are best suited for closed stoves and boilers. In open stoves or barbecues, their use may be inconvenient due to high temperatures and rapid combustion. Fuel briquettes are a modern and effective solution, but they require a careful approach, proper storage, suitable equipment, and consideration of their features. If these disadvantages are critical for you, you may want to consider other types of fuel. Subscribe to the channel